everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They already have as many wins in the second half as they did in the first half, and we're just starting the second half. That number's 0.
And I know some of their fans are already starting to look forward to the draft, but I still think this team has a chance to win some games down the stretch.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Here's Randy Bullock now to put toe to leather. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Mike 54. Here we go, D. Here I come. Here I come.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, and have them back on their heels.
This is taken at the 18. $34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Check 50. Jam.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 29, Wentz. Catch is made. It's Harmon.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing on first is Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Wentz going to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Throwing now is Wentz. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Kelvin Harmon, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Cousins now. Complete. Smith has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He'll field this at the 5. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. And out now come the Eagles. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. Yeah. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Oh, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Army, Army. Army, Army.
Looking to throw on second down. Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike. Go, go. That QB's trapped.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Got a man, it's Arcega-Whiteside. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 43.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Yeah, baby.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wentz, flush to his right. And Sanders has got it complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. He got 29 yards that time.
Check Mike 39.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Now Bullock to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Cousins. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 5.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Sanders. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 43 yards. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Going for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he will have the 1st down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Wentz now to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Throwing is Wentz. And he's got it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
It's caught. Smith. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Draw play. Cousins to Cook. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Check that. We're going Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
From the 44, Cousins. He's got Smith here. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Wentz to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They run with Pumphrey, and they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This pass complete, Wentz to Ertz. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Wentz. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Pumphrey. And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A 2nd down throw for Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. Cook able to escape. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I got it.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 30.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend, and a nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, If you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
The quick slant caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this,
and this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Bullock good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick-6, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Hey, watch the edge, watch the edge.
3rd and long for Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Cousins looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the 1st. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
It's going to be.
There he goes, left side. The 30. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And out now come the Vikings. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run with Sanders as Sanders has it poked free. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this one complete to Smith. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cousins. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give him credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's another week, another loss, as they fall now to 0-9, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.